Hello and welcome to my channel, Libra. This is a general love reading for the sign of Libra for the 20th till the 30th of April 2020. Okay. I did record another video just that I uploaded. I'm putting the link for you the very first thing when you look into the subscription box. Just explaining to you a little bit more about love, self-love, romantic love, and what exactly I am referring to when I'm saying that I'm doing a reading for love. Okay, so this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Ascending, and Venus for Libra. If it's your first time to the channel, I welcome you to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us. You are more than welcome to also follow me on Facebook, on Instagram. Those links are down below. On Instagram, I try as often as possible. I will put like a little, maybe like a motivational daily video over there, whatever I'm guided to share with you, maybe about 2 or 3 minutes. You know, that motivation can really help us a lot in this world sometimes. Or I go live on Facebook where I draw cards for individuals. It's not a full reading, but I draw some cards. And you go some NLP Life coaching. And then also, if you want to have a personal detailed reading, $11 for a 30-minute reading for the remainder of April instead of the usual $40. I've had quite a number of those that I was doing and that I actually am still doing. So just to let you know, first come first serve basically. If it resonates with you, you're more than welcome to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I've got a general reading come out every week, and of course whatever resonates with you, accept it in your heart, and what doesn't resonate with you, just release it with peace and just kind of let it, let it go, let it not be for you. Just before we start, I would like to, if you do have a moment, I'd like you to just connect with me in the heart space. And it's so important because it is like where you put a barrier of protection around yourself, where you are taking what's positive for you and only what's positive for you, and what's not for you, just release it. Okay, so nice deep breath in, take your consciousness into the heart space, breathing out and moving into that space of peace. Okay, lovely. So for your reading for today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw you a life path oracle card and 3 Osho cards. We're kind of going to start your reading with that. I'm also going to draw for you a card from the, let me take the top one that came out here. I'm also going to draw for you a card from the Angel Tarot deck, Archangel Tarot deck, as well as a daily motivational sort of angel oracle card. And at those ones, we are going to look at the end of your reading. So we're going to end your reading off with those. Beautiful, aren't they? So beautiful. Let's see. What does the angels... Oh, that one, okay. What does the angels have to say for the beautiful Libras? That one's sticking out over there, and there we go. Such beautiful messages coming here from the angelic realm. There's 2 cards that came out there, Libra, and I'm going to take them both for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to start your reading first, and okay, we're going to have a look at your, actually turn them around. We're going to have a look at your recent past, your present moment, your current present situation, as well as your immediate future. That's what popped around here now. Let's just put them back inside. And then, of course, we will clarify some personal fights going on there. And this, of course, is a reading for love. So the main focus is really love, your self-love, and romance. And the overall energy is the 4 of Wands, which is generally one of the cards that are referred to as more of a marriage sort of card. Okay. Right in the middle of your reading, there is actually the Ace of Cups, which is all about abundance and prosperity and desires of your heart coming true, which is so beautiful. But let's look at this. Let's look at the oracle cards that we had first, and it says you are protected by the angels and you are cherished by the angels. All right, so angels working with you, as they always are, to unfold the beautiful desires of your heart, but you know, also letting you know or confirming for you that you are never alone, that you can always ask for help. So ask the angels for help, ask the angels for assistance, speak with them, and speak with them the way that you will speak to your friends. Okay, because they are our friends and they are our soul family. And they say that some of you there with the Osho card, the first one, slowing down, some of you are kind of going at it like a Boeing sort of there, all right? Maybe thinking that the more you put into it, the faster you kind of get there, and could be placing some significant pressure on others, and they might be taking some strain there, where you might be coming from the best possible side, but it's not necessarily perceived as such, okay? Yeah, the dream there, how beautiful is that card? So I feel that some of you, even within a partnership and even within a marriage, and even if it's a very happy partnership and marriage, you might still be feeling a little bit misunderstood there sometimes. Maybe feeling that there's a little bit extra that you want to add. First of all, you want to be careful to not overly romanticize life, that you don't want to almost place unreasonable expectations on others sometimes, but also and just letting you know that once you stop running and trying to chase things specifically, be it that you're in a relationship or be it that you are not, that sometimes by slowing down, the magic can unfold for you. Something that I say quite a lot is that sometimes, like my word for God is like source of all, but let's just say God. Like sometimes we wait so much on God, when in fact God is waiting on us. We sometimes we stand in our own way. So if you can pull back there a little bit, slow things down, allow things, speak to the angels, then the beautiful unfolding maturity of things can happen there in ways that you sometimes can't even imagine. You're like, what? Okay. All right, so for your love reading, Aquarius, let's look at your recent past. There's the Seven of Swords, there's the Five of Pentacles, and there is the Page of Wands. Okay, so I feel that many of you might have actually felt that, maybe I need to ease up on things a little bit. Maybe I've been running a bit too much, be it in life, be it in love. But there is a need to slow down a little bit. But then at the same time, it might have actually made you feel a little bit like you might even be setting yourself back there, kind of crippling yourself, like, maybe chopping off your own foot a little bit. But then the one thing that I do like is that no matter what your emotional situation may be at the moment, you are beginning to see the magic, the opportunity for growth and for change unfolding in every moment. So you're beginning to see opportunity where others may actually see a lot of loss and a lot of lack. Okay, which is great. Yeah. I also feel that a lot of you are realizing that you might have actually been, in a sense, unreasonable with yourself. Okay, where you might have been perfectionistic in a way, that you have been trying so much to be the perfect sort of person, that you're realizing now that not only might you have been placing a lot of pressure on yourself in doing so, but you might have also been placing a lot of pressure on your partner or on prospective partners, where people might go like, I really like this person, but I'm not sure if I can handle them. They may be a little bit much. In your present situation, though, you really coming to terms with things, and I feel that inner work that you have done is really serving you well, because here you're getting the Ten of Pentacles. So many of you were saying, okay, what do I need to do? What losses may I need to cut in order to get what it is that I'd like to have? And a lot of you have also come to that point where you would have actually kind of like, really look at things and ask yourself what you might have previously perceived as a loss. Would the definition of that actually still be a loss for me, or would it in fact be compromise? Okay, and it's that almost different sort of angle of looking at things which brings you to this Ace of Cups there, right in the middle, right in the flow, because it is when you can be less rigorous with how you insist on the way things have to be. You know, it must be this way, it must be that way. If you can say, okay, so this is what I want, focusing sort of like on the broader picture and not micromanaging so much, especially yourself. That it's almost like you know that ancient I think it's Japanese saying that when a pot breaks, they put it together with gold, because the cracks kind of show that you have healed. All right, it's through those cracks that the light is shining, as Rumi said. Okay, and the King of Cups there, it's really 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 working out for you. You can see the potential, and you can see how this sort of tweak in mindset, or this willingness to have a tweak in mindset, how it's really paying off, which is beautiful. And remember, even though it's a love reading, it's about romance, but it's also about your relationship with yourself, okay, which is the most important relationship, because it determines everything. Okay, and then going forward, many of you you're so stepping into your power, all right, where you might have depended on a lot of outside sources, now realizing how some of those outside sources may have actually been the very thing that made you unhappy. Now really taking a fresh look at things. Okay, get into that beautiful moment of decisiveness there. That is a very Libra energy over there. And it is, look at this, with the Libra at the bottom and the cups, you know, the flowing right there, sort of above. Flowing, pouring, and it's taking you into new things. Going forward, it's really taking you into new things. The Death card is all about rebirth. Okay, it's about new start, new beginnings. Let us clarify for you, and we're going to start by clarifying this overall energy of the reading, that is the Four of Wands. And I feel if a lot of you were about to get married or stuff like that, you really you've realized that, or even if you know, if things were maybe a bit of a rocky stage, you really realize that you it's almost like you came to the realization of what it is that you really want to have. Okay, and once you kind of got the clarity of what it is that you need to have there, which will clarify is the Queen of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the Chariot. Once you got that clarity of what it is that you really really want to have in your life, it became sort of obvious what it is that you need to change and tweak in order to get what it is that you would have wanted to have. Okay. Alright, so we're going to start with we're going to follow a beautiful chronological order here. We're going to start in your recent past, so that's Seven of Swords, where, let's just put this together, this is too many cards. With the Seven of Swords there, where you kind of almost realize how you might have been overreacting a little bit with some, you know, with certain things, where you realize that you could have been perhaps more lenient. That served you really, really well, by the way. I feel a lot of you are asking if I made the right decision. You know, did I make the right decision? Because with that Seven of Swords over there, clarifying is the Ten of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the High Priestess. Okay, so some of you, it's almost like you had a very, very sort of strong, personal, inner sort of meeting with yourself, you know, where you would have realized that this is not working. Maybe it never worked before, maybe it worked before, but right now it's not working. There was a strong need to change things, a rebalancing, remerging. You were like, okay, we need to look at things here and we need to see what it is that we need to change. Okay, and what is it that I maybe need to let go of? What do I need to leave in the past? Fights that really don't need to be had anymore. You know, the same sort of maybe disagreements. You were like, "No, I'm not going to do that anymore." Okay, but habits being habits, it might have been a little bit difficult there with the Five of Pentacles to get over those, but you fast began to see the value in it, because clarifying you, there's the Wheel of Fortune, the Nine of Cups, and the Page of Cups. So what is the bigger goal? What is the bigger vision? Where is it that you wanted life to go? A lot of you started to do that very sort of inner work, inner search. And many of you didn't like it. You really didn't like it. It just because it was necessary doesn't necessarily mean that you enjoyed it. Okay? And you could see the value in it, but you didn't necessarily enjoy it. But there with Ace of Swords, some difficult decisions needed to be made. The Moon, the Strength card. Okay, some difficult decisions needed to be made there. Some difficult realizations needed to be accepted. There may be some truths that you would have preferred not to face so much. It's almost like you couldn't really deny it any longer. It just became too blatantly obvious to others and to yourself. And even within yourself, there was such a strong call for harmony, for balance, for peace, for things to work out. You got tired. Many of you got tired with the way things were not working out, where you were the one giving, and not receiving. And so you were prepared to cut the losses that you had to cut, and that meant even changing some behavioral patterns within yourself. Okay. In the current situation, we're looking at the Ten of Pentacles, we're looking at the Ace of Cups, and we're looking at the King of Cups. So that in itself, it's a very powerful pattern already, because Ten of Pentacles is all about, as you can see, it's everything that you want in life, down to the dog is the cat in the fish tank, what you want your life to be like. And you are really willing to go for it. You want it so strongly that the universe is really lining up to get it for you. Remember, as you had your cards in the beginning, a reminder there that the angels are with you. Okay, you are cherished by the angels. They're here with you. You are not alone. Okay. Some old patterning coming back here, asking yourself, did I make the right decision? Did I make the best decision? Was I not just being an ice queen or an ice king? So you had your vision there, your goal, current situation, and that is clarified by the Seven of Pentacles, by the Page of Swords, and the Empress is making an appearance there. And so you decided what it is that you wanted to have, and you could start seeing that it's happening, what you wanted. Currently, it's like you can start seeing it happening, coming to pass, coming true. The evidence is there. Small little manifestations maybe. Somehow conversations just going in that sort of direction. And you starting to doubt yourself. Yeah, you're like, okay, so yeah, that's what I decided, but well, it's almost like many of you are asking, was I maybe not just acting too much in my emotions, for example? That wasn't I. The way that people can sometimes tease, and I don't always think it's the nicest thing to do, but that they would say like a woman will just go like, okay, and they will say like, a man is this powerful, strong being, but of course we all have divine male and divine feminine inside us. So for many of you, I feel that you are very concerned presently that there's kind of feelings of guilt here. Didn't you overreact? Okay, and the Emperor is reminding you here that you know what it is that you need to do, and it's almost a reminder of who you are. It's a reminder that that just because you might feel a little bit like the sort of heartless person, that's not really who you are. Okay. I feel that's something that a lot of you are struggling with at the moment. And then you're becoming a little bit better. It's almost like you have good days and not so good days. Okay, so there with the Ace of Cups. So there is an overall sense of gratitude happening, which you like, but then also clarifying there for you is the King of Swords, is the Two of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. Okay, so very much coming then from a point where you can then, calm yourself down a bit. You're like, okay, well, I'm not this horrible person. And how can I maybe still, if I did overreact a little bit, how can I maybe, without taking a step back, how can I maybe tweak things a little bit? And it's causing a bit of confusion because you don't really want to rock the boat. You don't want to upset the balance over there, but you also don't want to cut others off. I feel that the good intention that you might have is what is actually bringing through the solutions that you might be seeking for. Okay. The King of Cups there for you. So you're really learning to find balance within, I suppose, what you can call the imbalance. And the clarifiers there for you is the Seven of Cups, so that's beautiful. The King of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. Okay, alrighty. So really you're finding that sort of magic that it is that you're seeking, that you're looking for, that you're after. Finding that magic, which is amazing. And not only finding it, but also kind of fine-tuning it, so polishing that magic up. Lovely. And things are going well, things are feeling good, and then every now and then you think to yourself again, like, did I do the best thing? Didn't I make some horrible move, But you are coming into your power. When you're coming into your power beautifully, clarifying here for you the immediate future. Actually, it's this way around. There we go. Perfect. All right. So, immediate future, you've got the Four of Wands there. So, coming into your strength, coming into, I feel, the acceptance. Because it's like you made, or you're like where you currently are, and like in your recent past, knowing that you made the right decision, but knowing you made the right decision and accepting you made the right decision are two very sort of different things. Okay. But what do we have here? Six of Pentacles, the Justice card, and the Knight of Cups. Okay. I do feel sudden marriages coming about here. Or suddenly coming to your friends and say, oh, we engaged. And you're like, what? Whereas maybe you would have been like, I don't want to see him. Don't you even mention her name, Where suddenly you realize, you know what? It was those small little things that actually counted so much in the differences. It is those things that might have actually been the very reason why, why I said I wanted to leave you, why I didn't want to be with you, why I said things couldn't go work out. Realizing that the magic was in those small little things that, and isn't it funny that it's normally that way, hey? It's the little things that you said that you wouldn't tolerate that you then end up missing. So let's see what we have. And then you've got the Hierophant. This is what I like. There comes a moment in every relationship, in every marriage, in every sort of partnership, sometimes more than once, but they're quite significant, where inevitably, doesn't matter how beautiful your love is and whether it comes from, from the angels or whatever, it's all lovely. Every couple hits this point where you just say like, I can't. I just can't. Okay? And it is when you get to this point, and I feel this is where so many of you are going. It's when you get to that point and you can, this is where the make and break really comes in. If you can get through it, through that wall, it's like a new sort of strength. Not just for the relationship, but also for yourself as a person. And I'm talking about coming. I'm not talking about anything narcissistic here. I'm talking about coming together. All right, and both invest 100%. It's a different sort of strength that comes through here, and I feel that is where so many of you are going, and you'll have the support for it and with it. Okay, Nine of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel that there might be many things that almost like self-sacrifice, you might have called it compromise. But for some of you, maybe life, but specifically because this is a love reading, you know, your relationship with yourself or within the relationship, is that you can almost sort of feel that for some of you, it might feel like you don't really know who you are. Okay? It's like you are part of something very powerful, very beautiful, and maybe even with a very strong foundation. But it's almost like I feel like for many of you, it's almost like you ended up putting so much into the situation. And this might just be a life pattern, it might even come from childhood patterning, but you've put so much into the situation that even though you're in it, you're not really in it. You know, it's almost like you had to, how would I put this? Amend yourself so much, you know, that you, when you look back at it now and you look at it honestly, it's almost like it's not you. And you're tired of that. All right? But it's a tiredness that makes you really objectively look at life again, like, who am I? Who do I, not only who I am, but who I choose to be and who I want to be. And that really makes you look at who do I choose to be, who do I want to be, and making you go forward with that. And that could be either together or alone. I feel that many of you at this point where you're like, if I got to do it on my own, I've got to do it on my own. Okay, and so that is where this death, this rebirth, new beginnings card really comes in. And so clarifying, there's the Knight of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. So many of you, it's almost like when you started to allow into your mind what it is that you want your life to be, what it is that you choose for your life to be, your definition of life and love and how you fit into it. When you allow that to enter your mind, like even in that small little light where you open the window, it in one sense pointed out how contrived many things might be within yourself, where if somebody had to ask you, so when you have to determine what is the grass that is greenest for you, you had to really go like, I'm not sure. But when that light has started to shine and you're willing to do the inner work, and there's a lot of clarity that's coming through for you of what it is that you choose for your life to be. Okay. I hope that answered your questions. All right, so let's see what we have for you here in the Angel Oracle cards. The first one said, notice the signs. Yes, the signs that you've been receiving are heaven sent. All right, remember, again, the angels are with you. We drop feathers, coins, and other signs upon your path to remind you that you are loved and you are never alone. And then the other one is saying there, what do you desire? All right. You now have the opportunity to write the script according to your heart's true desires. Once you clearly decide upon your true desires and know that you're ready and deserving of them, so important, they'll rush into your life as if by magic, because all opportunities are always available there for you. Okay, we're going to look at what the Archangel Oracle is saying, the Five of Raphael. Five again healing, beautiful things coming, confirmation there. I also do feel if many of you might have some health concerns, maybe even as a result of a relationship, it gave you stress and anxiety, a lot of healing from there. It says that everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. What could you learn from the situation about life and about yourself? And then there with the angel tarot, the Three of Air. Great sadness takes time to heal. The need to forgive yourself and also the need to forgive others. Okay, so maybe taking it a little bit back to the drawing board there, but remember to do so with love. Okay, perfect, Libra. So that's what I have for you for your reading here. A reminder to also go and have a look at that link below for the other reading, or not really reading, explanation that I give for you for my view when I look at love and how special you are, we are, all of us are. Okay, follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. If you want to have a personal detailed reading, it's $11 US. 30-minute reading is sent to you. Subscribe to the channel if that resonates with you inside your heart. Hit that notification bell, and I will see you next for your May 2020 reading from my heart. Namaste, love and light. And just lastly, for so many of you, for many of us that might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed at the moment, I send you all my love, I send you all my light. And if you look actually at the video of last week that I load up for you, in that description you'll find a link there for a hypnosis that'll actually help you beautifully there quite a little bit. Okay? Namaste, love and light.